We talked about the power of a hug. We talked about checking in with people, and that all has a big influence on how we go through the world. You know what I mean? It's like it's important. So I want to talk about the influence of important people and the ramifications of trading. Okay, so back in 2011, we had this rapper named 50 Cent. Right, 50 Cent, we all know 50 cents, right? And I heard 50 Cent say during the election, he says, yeah, I don't want to be 40 cent or 30 cent or something like that. And I thought that was kind of funny. But the thing is that when you have somebody like 50 Cent, and let's say, for example, I think 50 might be, on his Instagram, he's over 20 million. 20 million followers on Instagram.
And then only 1 more million than my Instagram. More like 20 million more.
20,999.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Anyhow, when you get somebody like that, and I think it was in 2011, I think he encouraged his people to buy Apple option stock or something like that. But anyhow, he put the word out there, and people kind of jumped on board or whatever the case is. And I know that he made some money. I don't know, but I think what happened was he made money, or people made money, or it moved the market enough for the SEC to get involved. And I'm not sure if they slapped him on the wrist or if they put handcuffs on him or what they did with him, but there was a sanction, and he was forbidden to do things like that again. What is your developed or developing concept about people like 50 Cent, Elon Musk, maybe even Dolly Parton, right? You might even get somebody, Dolly Parton might say whatever the case is, or her granddaughter, not a granddaughter, but her goddaughter, I think, Miley Cyrus. These people have a lot of influence, and if they jump up one day and say, buy Cardano or Zcash or whatever the case is, you know, you got millions of people that are going to go out there and do it. How do you feel about the SEC regulating people, regardless of their amount of exposure, celebrities all the way down to the pauper? How do you feel about the SEC saying you can or cannot say this to influence the market?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm kind of on the fence on it. I see both sides. I think there should be some control, some control, but I'm conflicted by saying people should be restricted completely. Right. Because, I mean, to me, it depends on what their intention is, right? If their intention is simply to make money for themselves,
right.
It's always hard to know what people's intention is.
Right.
But, you could have had a legitimate reason for promoting something, right? Where you really believe in the product, you believe in its effect on the environment, and you want to promote, a more green society or whatever. Right. But because you happen to own it, then you're not allowed to say anything on it. So I'm kind of conflicted, to say like, it's like freedom of speech. Like, where's the line?
Where's the line? So let's say you developed something. Maybe you have some kind of software that makes computers super efficient or whatever the case is. And granted, you may make millions or trillions of dollars off of it. But you're also saying, really, guys, it's going to make your life a lot easier. You really, truly believe in the product.
Well, I'm allowed to promote my own company, right?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
But if you have 50 million people following you, you bring up a good thing right now. This is really interesting. This is interesting at this. This is why I like to have the discussion. What is the difference between somebody like 50 Cent or Musk? Actually, let's say you have a commercial. Oh, I get it. 50 Cent doesn't own Apple.
He owns part of it.
He owns as a stockholder. Yeah. I guess so. But so you promoting your own thing is different. I would say so. Maybe that's slightly different category. But let's say you do like whatever. Maybe I designed the program, and you really love it, and you may own 40% of that company. But you're like, that's not the point. Stevie, you invented something that's really, really great. You get on your platform, you shout it out. The SEC comes to you and says, you're going to do 2 or 3 years in jail, or we want to take $250,000. I don't know what the sanctions are, but you get slapped for it.
Yeah.
In that case, do you think that it's a violation? It's something that they shouldn't do?
I think there should be some punishment. I don't know about going to jail, but
Okay.
you know, if you're simply just manipulating the price
Yeah.
For your benefit, you know. But again, I'm on the fence because it's like, what if I'm an influencer? I'm being paid. Like people pay influencers to promote stuff too, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's different though because you're being paid directly for a service.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, just manipulating the price just for your own benefit. There should be some kind of, but I don't know the answer. I
You
don't know.
don't know what the sanction should be.
Yeah.
You don't know if it should be, 3 days of hard labor, raking someone's lawn,
Yeah.
right? Shining some executive shoe. We don't
Right,
know.
right. Because I mean, just you could hurt people, right? If you just are promoting something just for your own good,
Right.
Then you could artificially inflate the price, and then it goes down, and people lose money, and so there should be some control.
Right. Okay. So here, this is the thing. I'm gonna bring this up. I was at a barbecue a few weeks ago, and this guy was like, "You need to buy the Dogecoin. You know what I mean? You need to get it right. Whatever that." I'm just like, "What?" And he says, "You need to do it before Elon Musk gets on Saturday Night Live, because he's going to, rumor has it, promote the Dogecoin on Saturday Night Live, and during that time in the show, the price is going to shoot up through the roof."
Right.
Right? So I'm like, wow, that kind of makes a lot of sense, et cetera, et cetera. And that happened. Elon got on the show, and they encryptedly kind of promoted the Dogecoin. And is that right? Is in your opinion, is that what's the word I'm looking for? Ethical.
For Elon Musk to promote
The Dogecoin, even on a famous TV show like the Saturday Night Live, because it really was a promotion. He really was winking to the audience to buy the Dogecoin. Is that ethical? When you said you mentioned this in the top of the interview, it depends on what your intentions are, and it seems to me his only intention there was to make money.
Yeah, I don't know what his intentions are, so it's hard for me to say. I mean, maybe he's just speaking his thoughts, and making a point that Dogecoin provides the same utility as Bitcoin. It is more, Bitcoin is actually limited supply and Dogecoin isn't, but maybe he's just making a point that, it's arbitrary which currency you choose, and who knows why he's saying what he's saying.
We truly don't know. That's
thinking
true.
out loud, right? So, yeah, I think he should be able to share his thoughts. So again, it's tough. It's tough for me to say if you can prove that he's doing it for his own benefit somehow. Then I would say that he shouldn't be allowed to do it. But if he's just he's an important figure. He has a lot of valid thoughts as well.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'd like to hear what he has to say about this stuff.
Now, let me ask you this. Let's take it one step further. Let's say an influencer gets out there and says, buy this coin or buy this particular thing, and then everybody jumps on board and they know some information about the company that doesn't stand on its legs. So the next day they sell all of their stuff while everything else is high, and then drives the value back down and people lose. Now, do you think that there should be any sanctions?
I mean, that's insider information, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is insider. But even if they don't know inside information, if they end up selling the next day because the price went up, they end up having to sell their huge amount. So maybe they don't know the inside information. They just know that I'm going to use my platform, drive up the price. When the price hits a certain amount, I'm going to bail. Should there be a sanction or some kind of oversight by the SEC on people doing that? That sounds a little bit more calculated to me.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I know that happens a lot with big players. They can actually influence the price and bring it down, and then people lose confidence in that particular asset, and then they sell, and then they come back and buy a bunch.
You mean when it's cheap, when it's when it's pennies for the dollar type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So should there be? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't believe in too many restrictions,
Okay,
right?
all right, all right.
You should be able to buy and sell, your crypto, and
So what, is it safe to say that, because I'm kind of feeling like you're saying, I would
There's a
rather...
fine line. Like,
I would-
what if you do just want to sell it, and for whatever reason you want to
just don't
sell,
know.
you want to sell it, and you want to buy something else, but then all of a sudden the price falls,
Right.
And and then you're like, oh wait, now I want to buy this again. I mean, you don't really know people's
don't know.
intentions,
We
but
don't
it's
know.
like,
And because we don't know, that's what it seems like you're saying, we can't
It's
really,
hard.
we
It's
can't
hard to
really
regulate
regulate it. We can't regulate it because we don't know someone's true intention, right? So we
it's
can't...
hard because you could, if you try to put too many controls on it, then you could also prevent legitimate scenarios,
Right.
where people want to just exercise their freedom. Like, it's just a capitalistic society where you want to be able to do business. And
So there it is, you guys. We are trying to figure it out. It looks like the jury is still out on this one here. It seems like it can go both ways. I would like to know what your opinion is. Right in the chat box, I want to know what you got. Has there been any real life situations where you've been burned? Has there been any real life situations where you actually caught the windfall on the situation because an influencer gave some information that was helpful for you? Please write it below. And then, or also, is it a cold stop for you? No, this should not be allowed to happen. Or you want to go back to the wild, wild west? Let it all happen. Let it all hang out, and it's every person for themselves. And if you lose, you lose, and if you win, you win. That's it. Thanks for your opinion, man.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
I'm curious to hear others' opinions as well.
So please
leave your
post them.
comments.
Yes, indeed. Thank you much. We'll see you in the next one. Bam. We're knocking it out. We only got